Okay, in this last step, we're going to basically um, save this result as an asset. And the reason for this is that what you'll notice with Earth Engine is that whenever you kind of change the zoom, it's going to more or less rerun the analysis and redraw things. And so the code editor is largely meant to be kind of a creative space where you kind of come up with a workflow and are able to kind of inspect it as you go, either by printing to the console or adding layers here to visualize. Um, but it's often best when you get to the end to actually crunch this out as an asset, and so that you have the final product stored without needing to be get created each time that you load the map or change your zoom level. Is that fair? The other thing is that you also want to make sure that any constraints that should be applied to your model that you removed in an effort just to get it to run a little bit more quickly are applied when you get your final result. And so what I'm specifically talking about is this constraint that we recognized we should have. We should be calculating distance not based on like Web Mercator and not based on just latitude and longitude, but we should be doing this in our CRS and in our Vermont State Plane. And in order for Earth Engine to do this kind of it's a lot of work and it often slows down your script if you have this applied when you're just kind of creating on the fly. Is that all right? So what I want to do is take that comment off here so that it is in fact going to reproject and do this distance calculation in this coordinate reference system. And I'm going to save that, and then I'm not going to click run again, but I'm going to go down to export to the snippet that I have for this last step of exporting to EE asset, and I'm going to paste that in. And so to run the workflow with the CRS condition on in step 10. So I've gone back and I've uncommented that thing so that we now are going to be running our distance in the CRS. And I've done something here where I've created a variable called xname. It's the best college grasslands, and that was the date that I wrote this, but I'll just update this. I tend to kind of use this um, little tradition of you name it with something that's reasonable, like descriptive, but then you also tag it with a date so that you know when you made it. So if in case you change your model, you can then update it. And then just remember that the string needs to be no spaces, so I have the underscores there. And then I'm using this export to table asset that I grabbed from here and here and here. And it takes a collection, description, asset ID, and max vertices. So I've kind of given you it all filled out here, where we're gonna call this method, and we're gonna feed it for the collection. We're gonna say, please use this. For the description, please tag it that, and for the asset ID, please tag it that. I'm gonna hit save here, and then I'm just gonna hit run. And what you should see is that the task tab now lights up, and it's saying that you have an unsubmitted task, Best College Grasslands. This label appears as the task name. And if I click run, it's going to say, okay, you need to do this. And then you may, I think you have uh, this set up. There, it may ask you to kind of create a, an ID for where you want to store this, but I'm storing it in this project. That might be decided for you. And then here's the name of the asset that's going to be created over there. So I'm going to click run, and it's going to crunch through this. And I think it doesn't take that long. So I'm going to keep the video running here while this thing is churning. And I'm going to go over to assets in the meantime. And what you should see is that you probably have one tray over here called cloud assets. Um, and And you're going to make this, I think, and you may have already made this, right? I'm recording these not in the sequence that you guys are going to be working through them. Now, if I hit recycle here to see if it's done yet, it's not done yet. I'm waiting for this thing to complete. And should I just wait for it? Do you mind? You can probably scrub a little bit to push the video forward. It should, last time it only took me less than a minute, so I'm hopeful it doesn't take that long to do this. But what it's doing right now, yeah, boom. So it took less than a minute, and it basically just ran your whole analysis for you in the cloud and produced a result. So if I recycle here, there's going to be best grasslands, and I'm just going to click on it. And there's no description. You could edit it and add some description if you wanted. There's the features, and so here's a picture of the table that we made, right, where you have your two features. They are indexed in the sense they have an ID. There's the area. There's the number of pixels that contributed to them. There's that label that we didn't do much with. There's the perimeter to area ratio, which are both less than 0.015. And then there's this, which we don't have to worry about. And so what we're going to want to do is go ahead and copy this. It's also a good practice if you, we're just going to copy this for now. And I'm going to say that it's also often a good idea to click share and say anyone can read, because that's going to allow you to share your code with people. But for right now, not a big deal. The main thing is that you wanted to, did you catch that? The most important thing is to copy this table ID. Okay? So, and then I'm going to close that. And then what you're going to be able to do, look at my notes, is you're going to want to say, all right, let's add, excuse me, thank you, add a result is going to be, and we're going to use the EE feature collection like we did. Like this is a circular narrative, so the last step is kind of similar to the first step. And then I'm going to add some quotes, and I'm going to put in this string. So please load this data set based on this kind of path name as a feature collection. And thank you very much. And then let's map add layer results color orchid and result. And I'm just going to put that in as a string, because otherwise it's going to get mad. And wink at it and say run, and it should basically go through this. It's still probably trying to crank out all this. No, it's thinking about it for some reason. Did I hit run? So I'm going to do a couple of things here. First, let me just comment that out so it doesn't have to go through that script. But now as I hit run, it's going to probably be a little slow still, because it's probably still trying to crank through all of these print statements that I should probably have commented out so that this runs a little faster. But the end result is that you should see the result of your analysis, and with and it probably is not going to look that different from this one, but it's anyway, I'm not going to click that other one because it might go very slow. And there's your result. So anyway, what you've just done is basically used Earth Engine to create a model and to basically be able to inspect it as you wrote it. And then when you're happy with the end results, you got it to run with all of the conditions released, so that it was your best effort to do this correctly, and you saved it as an asset. So you now have this result as a table, and in the future we'll look at how you can actually bring that, how you don't have to export as an asset. You could export to your drive as a shapefile and bring it into something like QGIS, which we'll do in the future. But for right now, I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup where I'm going to go through here, and just in case I want to run this again and make it go a little bit faster, I'm just going to go back to, for me, it's line 175, but it's in this computing the distance, and I'm going to comment that out again so that if I click run, it's not going to try to apply that constraint there, which I think will make it run a little bit faster. Okay, are we good on this? So we only wanted to take that off when we did the export step. Is that fair? And now that we've gotten the goods and we've saved the goods and we've commented out this request to create the asset, so that I no longer, when I run the script, get this task queued up here, because I'm not asking it to do that. I'm just kind of displaying the results. And because I have the results saved as an asset, I can take this constraint off now, so that if I want to kind of continue to work on this, it'll run more efficiently, without applying this constraint as we go. Okay, hopefully that's okay, but nice job. There it is. Answered the question, and thanks.